Right, let's get today's analysis started. Good morning, we're on EU. We have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom, and we're on the daily chart. What's the daily chart showing us? Well, yesterday we closed out as this sort of long-legged bearish doji, right? A long wick to the downside. So as we can see, we took that previous daily low and reversed on all of that bearish momentum. Okay, so bullish engulfing the previous day before that. Right, so it looked like we was making some sort of pullback. So although we reached down quite low for some sell side liquidity, ultimately it's kind of got taken over by bullish control, right? And we closed right up by the open. So I don't think that our bullish move is considered finished just yet. Though today we have taken 2 days buy side liquidity by the looks of it now, which is giving us bearish momentum. So perhaps we'll find support, or maybe we'll just continue on from here, having taken this buy side liquidity. There are still draws on price above. We are in a discount still of the daily leg, so it would be nice to see a better pullback to a premium. However, price may not do that, right? Same with DXY, it still has discount draws on price down below here and here in the middle. We didn't take the previous daily low, so we'd have some SMC divergence showing some strength on DXY, at least in the short term. Maybe there's some lower time frame support, but yeah, there's no real daily sign of why we would continue from here bullish to take out these highs, but it just might happen. So let's go down to the 4 hour. Let's see what that structure looks like. So here on the 4 hour, as I've been saying, we've pulled back very correctively, that internal structure with those highs, high lows, high highs. Obviously we closed out as a wick above that previous high on the 4 hour at least. So we've swept that buy side liquidity. We've also taken the previous daily high, like I said, today, and we've had bearish momentum since then. Now we still have this last order block candle left to fill, where I see as possible resistance. However, we've pretty much fully filled the imbalance. We're already in the order block. Would have been nice to mitigate this point here, but price is moving very bearish in the last few hours, so we may just continue down. There's no real support peer wise that I see so far on the 4 hour anyway, so we could go down, or the hourly may have something for us. Obviously the trend is bearish anyway, so we may just continue with that bearish trend. But as on the daily, we still have POIs on the 4 hour that price may be drawn toward. Okay, but this is our first area of resistance here, which price may obviously move bearish from. Now DXY, obviously we may be finding some support here because we are in the 4 hour order block as well. Price has obviously found some sort of support. Again, we've swept sell side liquidity below here, and we're moving bullish with that SMC divergence because we haven't taken that previous daily low. Got a nice trend line buy side liquidity. Perhaps we'll come for that, not sure. So far today, again, bearish trend, bearish buy side liquidity taken, so bearish bias pretty much from here. Just be aware we have this possible draw on price still above. Okay, so let's go down to the hourly. Hourly, of course, is very similar, except we get to see the internal structure a lot more clearly, right? High, high, low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. But again, we've wicked above and we've swept that buy side liquidity, taken previous daily high buy side liquidity, and we're falling from there towards a discount of this 1 hour leg. I don't see any clear POIs, but we may just find support somewhere anyway. We have a draw on price still above, especially on the hourly, because the hourly order block is all the way up here. So we have an hourly imbalance still left to fill. We may make our higher low within this discount here and then continue up towards this draw on price, possibly where I would see our main resistance point up here to continue our trend. We still have that same draw on price below here on DXY on the hourly. No clear POIs here as well, but we're back towards like a premium of this sort of leg here anyway, so we may find that, or we may even come for the buy side liquidity previous daily high and have some divergence. So if DXY gets there first, of course, and we take that buy side liquidity and we find some support within this leg here, then SMC divergence looks like a strong euro to head possibly towards this area here. Now there was a trade I was eyeing up this morning and we've pretty much been missed on it, but we'll see that when we go down to the M15. So let's do that. I hope that was clear. Let me know any questions in the comments. So I'll go down to the M5 as well, but let's just start here on the M15. Even in price action into overnight in Asia, of course, we took that buy side liquidity from the previous day's highs, so Monday's high. At that same time, of course, we've taken previous daily highs as well. And then the order flow kind of started to switch internally. We can see lower high, lower low. We've got a lower high slash, consolidation here. We swept buy side liquidity here and broke down, making a clear break of structure lower low on the M15. Now it did leave an M15 order block here, but it already mitigated that as it had just broken that structure and then fell further, taking all this sell side liquidity, which is a bit of a negative now for this pullback, which you'll see on the M5. DXY did not mitigate that M15 order block, which was a shame, because if it did, I would have been entered into the trade. Same on DXY, of course, we started making these breaks of structures with high lows, high highs, high lows, high highs. We had SMC divergence where we swept this buy side liquidity. DXY did not, showing strength, right, which is why I wanted to get in here. So I planned this out on the M5 and got missed again. So that's unfortunate. Obviously using the M15 order block here would have been tagged in, but I liked how the M5 looked. So let's go to the M5. On the M5, you can see we had the clear break of structure around this zone here, left behind a nice clear M5 order block. We broke down, pulled back correctively, right? You can see 4 candles versus the 2 to break down. Okay, so I was hoping this would just be inducement, but instead price broke down. I wish it had pulled back quicker, because now it's taken so much sell side liquidity and sort of come into a discount that this doesn't look as good anymore, but it still might be worth the trade. Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that. I've removed my order for now. Okay, but this is what it would have looked like. We've got inducement, M5 order block. Okay, we swept liquidity around here, had SMC divergence. We have the unmitigated M5 order block here on DXY as well. So price may pull back to it. This is another area you could trade from, of course, because it's an M5 order block, but again, you'd have that negative of this M5 order block above to use you as inducement. Okay, so I would prefer to enter from here than here, but if price mitigates this and continues, wouldn't be too surprised, because the M15 zone here was already mitigated. So that's what I saw. This is what I see as a possible opportunity again, right, if price pulls back to it. But yeah, it's unfortunate we already took out all of this sell side liquidity, especially on the M15, right? Just looking at it now, we've taken all of this out here, then we're going to pull back to it, and price still has that draw above, right? So I do still see us moving higher in price in terms of our higher time frame 1 hour legs to continue going on this way towards this drawn price. So that's the negative for me, this drawn price, the fact that we mitigated this and took this sell side liquidity. So I'd have to have a think about that short, if I'm honest with you. So I think that's everything for EU. Again, I hope that was clear. I hope this opportunity was clear as well. Buy side liquidity swept, break of structure. After high time frame buy side liquidity was taken, SMC divergence from that previous daily low. Okay, previous daily high, buy side liquidity, and that order flow came in. Okay, so that's why. That was a good opportunity this morning, which I missed. So let's move on to GJ. Right, so on GJ, there was already some GBP news this morning, which is good. It was nice and early, it's out of the way. And that's meant we're really bullish, which has put us in a good place, if I'm honest. So this bearish leg here, we've now come back up to the premium. We're in a daily order block, right? So I'm not going to draw that out. It's very clear, because we'll have lower time frame order blocks as well. Yesterday swept the previous weekly low. So as you can see, that gave us a lot of bullish momentum, and that's continuing into today, coming for either this order block here to use as resistance, or maybe even the buy side liquidity at the previous weekly high. We'll see more on the lower time frame. So let's go down to the 4 hour. So 4 hour structure is clear. We've got our bearish breakdown, right? 4 hour leg, bit of a complex breakdown or pullback, I guess, as you could say, because we've broke down from here, made a short pullback, sort of filling this imbalance area. Okay, but that was still a discount. Broke down again, took that sell side liquidity from the previous weekly low, and that's where that momentum kicked in. Maybe some news around here too kicked in into today, where there was further news, and that brought us right up to our good premium order block here on the 4 hour leg. Okay, So we do have buy side liquidity floating above. So perhaps from a previous weekly low, we would head for a previous weekly high for the buy side liquidity. Though I still see us bearish if we sweep that and close out below. Okay, so I would hope for this to just be respected. Then we'd have a nice clear order flow leg, but potential for some buy side liquidity there. Okay, so we're in a point of resistance, which is clear to me. Right, so I'm just waiting to see what forms around this area. So let's go down to the hourly. Again, the hourly is not much different from the 4 hour, right? A lot of bullish price action up to this point here. So I'm still going to be waiting for structure. We have an hourly order block here, but where that is, that's why I'm saying I reckon we could sweep the high maybe if we don't respect price earlier. Where that hourly order block is, if we was to pull back all the way to this, there's nothing really stopping price, just sweeping that previous weekly high to get that major buy side liquidity, previous weekly high point there, which would be a good sponsor to then go bearish in my opinion. So nothing exciting here on the hourly. We broke through our hourly order blocks that was in this equilibrium / premium here, okay, on news, so which is fine. We have this nice premium above, right, with the 4 hour order block. So again, just wait and see what price does. So let's go down to the M15, just see what a trade would look like on GJ for today. Right, so personally now, I want to see price maybe even consolidate a bit or just form some sort of structure, right? Let's say it makes a low around here. Maybe it'll mitigate this, right? And then come back and take out those highs, right? For maybe some internal buy side liquidity to be swept today. And then we break down, so a good breaker structure below this, leaving behind an order block with imbalance up here for us to mitigate to then trade to the downside. So that's what I'd want to see, and I'd want to see it on the M15, right? Because that's where I'd want to see a change of structure for something that's been quite bullish recently, right? So possible internal buy side liquidity sweep, maybe after mitigating this order block down here. Okay, come back up, sweep that, break of structure with momentum from that buy side liquidity, leaving behind an order block here with imbalance, right? For us to pull back to, possibly correctively, leaving some inducement around this point here, right? And then we would have our order set around here, stop loss just above the highs, to aim towards a discount, obviously, whatever percentage you aim for. So this is what I would want to see, something like this. And then of course there's a possibility of leaving this and waiting for some continuations, right? For something internal maybe around here, I don't know, to continue short. If you don't get involved in the first instance, there may be something created. So that's what I would look for. We're in that good point of resistance that I've been waiting for. So let's see what happens. So that's everything. I hope you gained value from that. I hope it was clear. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.